Let's talk about it.
What's good, y'all? We're on another segment of the Money Emotion Monday. Let's talk about it. And we come at you guys with viral clips of crazy nonsense. Nah, just play. But today's topic is gonna be about pricing psychology. Feel like sometimes people don't think about pricing and what goes behind the scenes on how people make decisions on what makes sense, or maybe it doesn't make sense, but it's just what is going to trigger people to um purchase.
Yeah,
So yeah,
facts, dude. Facts.
but let's jump into it.
Oh yeah.
I'm pretty excited about this one because we got some pretty deep diving questions. um and with further ado, we'll jump in it.
Mm-hmm.
So David,
Sheesh. Nah, that's not my name. I just changed it.
do higher prices actually make people trust a brand more?
Um, I would say yes.
Hell nah. No, just kidding.
I honestly, I feel like, I mean, for me personally, I would say not really,
Mm,
But I think for just because I think differently, I feel like I'm a lot more logical when it comes to purchasing items, that are high priced. But
cheapskate ass fool.
I am low key. Yeah, you're gonna catch me at five and below. But I think for like the average person, dude, I honestly think it does. Like, it's why do people want Mercedes or BMW, right? Like, they're so high priced,
Hmm.
and like being realistic, they're not the greatest engineered
Mm,
vehicles, right? Like, they're known for like breaking down on the freeway and shit like that. But I think people that are able to make bigger purchases like that, like, they see that and it's instantly like, oh, this is status, first of all. And not only that, but because it's more expensive, it's probably more trustworthy. Like,
mm-hmm.
yeah, like I get these. What is that brand? American Eagle, the jean brand or something. It's like, I think it's like
American Eagle.
American Eagle
There
or
is a
something,
brand name
right?
American Eagle, yeah.
Like, a lot of girls will buy like that brand for
Hmm.
jeans, and maybe they're not even that durable. You know what I mean? Or like, I used to get Levi's, and it would last me the same amount as my Dickies or like my Target jeans. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So
For
it's
double the price
for
sometimes.
double the price, even triple the price, honestly. So I think,
Damn.
yeah, honestly, I personally don't. For me, myself, the more expensive just means the more money I need to make myself.
This guy.
What do you think?
Um, I think that
I think
it
you're a cheap ass.
depends. Um, well, I think it just depends. Like, there is certain circumstances or certain things where the cheaper the price is, the cheaper the quality is. For sure, 100%.
Yes.
It's like,
Yes, 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 yes.
um, I mean, like, I'm gonna put it in car analogy because that's like what we can understand. But I think it's like Honda is a cheaper brand, but cheaper. You see someone in Honda, but it's known for reliability. People, if you go to
Yes.
mechanics and things, they're gonna be like, dude, you can ride a Honda to like 250,000 miles,
Facts.
and it's gonna like last you forever. But then you hear about like BMW, you're paying triple sometimes, and while it's a great car, it is known for more mechanical issues and
Yes.
higher maintenance.
Yes.
But people buy it because of status around
Mm-hmm.
having a BMW. So, like, kind of what you mentioned about the Mercedes thing. However, when you move up in classes, so it's like if you get, for example, A GT3 RS.
I already have one. Fool. What are you talking about?
Yeah, so if you get like a GT3 RS, everyone knows that that car is really expensive. It's like anywhere from a quarter million to $500,000. But
Too cheap.
people that are buying those cars know that you're paying and you're getting a very high quality car.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
And so I think obviously like that's an argumentative statement as well, where like some people will say, well, no one should ever spend $500,000 or even $250,000 in a car. But I'm just putting it in like that, comparing those two like analogies or, you know,
Yeah.
things together to kind of show in this example what the difference in categories where it can be.
No, for sure. For sure.
And it kind of goes to like in for creators, right? Like for a long time we were creating content on phones, right? And people didn't realize that we were
That's
creating our
true.
content on our phone, and our phones cost like $1,000. But then, you know, some people are over here editing on like a $3,000 camera, which may be a great camera, but they're not like using it right, or they don't really know what they're doing. So it could make the quality of their production look cheaper.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
that is true,
So I feel
actually.
like there's a lot of perspectives and discretions behind like what you would want to consider of value, you know?
Yeah.
Um
So a lot of it is just like perception, right?
yeah, I think some of it is perception and some of it is, you know, actual quality of whatever you're doing, you're having, because nowadays, bro, like people are buying sometimes cheaper things and making them look or feel a lot more expensive than they actually are. But the
True.
outside person won't know because they're not there asking usually how much was that product, right?
Yeah.
Like I can buy a $5 shirt and make it look like a $50 or $60 shirt with by styling it with something else, right?
Yes, that is true.
Um so some of it is perception for sure. But yeah.
Yeah.
Which brings us into our next question. Price Does price equal perception? So the question is, does price shape how you see a product before you even try it?
Yes, it does actually. Because, dude, if I'm gonna pay, say, I get a pack of freaking 5 shirts from Target for $20, $25, right? So I'm not
Mm-hmm.
expecting like this crazy quality to feel really good in it, right? I'm just like, dude, this is just for work. It is what it is, right? If I'm gonna be paying $50 for one shirt, I'm expecting to feel the difference in quality and just structure overall, right? Like I want to throw it on and like, okay, does this make me feel good? Is this is the material good? Does it feel like good against my skin? How's the fitting?
Yeah.
These are things that I feel most people are most you kind of just jump to it, right? Where it's just like, dude,
Mm,
okay, if I'm gonna spend 150 to $100 on one item, I need to make sure that it's reasonable, right?
okay.
Or is it? I mean, that's just my opinion, but
Well, this is, I guess, where the
that's it.
arguments it goes back and forth, right? Because and then
Yes.
I think like a great example would be, you know, in our Zoom call earlier they mentioned, right, like the Kanye West stuff, right,
Yes.
where
Yeah.
people are paying, or were
Right.
paying. Well, I don't really know, like keep up with his brands, but I know at some point he had like these garments that were worth like a couple hundred or a couple like $1,000, I think.
Yeah.
But it's not just Kanye. There's brands out there that you would wear it if you put a fit together based off like stuff he sells. You will look like in some people's eyes or opinions, dirty, and like your clothes is not well put together because there's rips and distress on it and stuff. But if you ask someone else like in the fashion industry about the fit, they're gonna be like, "Oh yeah, the attention to detail. There's distress here. They did this. They added this button and this hardware and all
Mm-hmm.
these other things that make that product perception price, make
Yes.
sense."
Right.
Um, but in my opinion, for a lot of things, I'm also on the same boat as what you are on. Is I look at, okay, I'm looking for the cheapest price, but also want to get the most bang for my buck at a cheap price. So still
Yes.
shop with intention, but understanding that there's a difference from like cheap and like cheap.
Yes. Agreed.
You know
Yeah,
what I
yeah. No,
mean?
you're right. You're right. You're
Cuz
right.
dude, I'm not going to spend $25 either way on a pack of 5 shirts if those shirts are going to like I could only wear it one time and then I have to like toss them, you know? Like the reason why you
Yes.
buy those shirts from Target, cuz I buy the same ones, is because you can wear those like a couple times, like a handful of times actually, and then be like, "All right, I need another pack."
Yeah. Yeah,
You know what
yeah.
I mean?
Honestly, dude. Hey, shout out to Target. Honestly, that
Hell no.
not too shabby, bro. Like, dude, I don't get holes in my
No free
shirt.
promo around here.
Actually, yeah, you're right.
Shout out Money in Motion and Greater Than Athletics only.
um, but like to your point, dude, like I would not buy that pack of shirts if I wasn't gonna be able to wear them for 6 months without having to replace them right away,
Yeah,
or 3 months or whatever the case is, right?
facts.
Because I have gotten a pack of like a 3 pack of shirts from also Target, a different brand, but dude, I wore them and after the second wash, the black was faded out. Where my shirts ripped like towards the bottom because of I work with boxes. They were fucking ripped within like a week.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, okay, clearly
Yeah. And
this is cheap quality.
was it more expensive for the 3 or similar price, or how was the price?
It was $20.
Dang,
So
for
just
2
basically,
less shirts?
yes,
Dang.
yes,
Yeah, you got robbed, bro.
I did.
Let's see, broad daylight robbery right there.
That's why I went to go petition against them.
All right. So question number 3 is, can pricing too low actually hurt a brand or your brand? I will say yes. It actually can and will hurt your brand. So we've actually learned this, and we're currently learning this right now. Um, for our next project that we got coming up for Greater Than Athletics. Stay tuned because we're trying to cook something crazy for y'all. But with that being said, it's pricing is super important. Because when you're a developing brand, it's super important for you to understand where you stand amongst brands, right? Like,
Yes.
the reality is when you're a developing brand, you can't just come out of nowhere and say, all right, I'm going to price my product at premium price because I feel like it's going to be premium right off the back with no marketing, no, following, no nothing. Like, that's very rare.
Yeah.
It's not that it's impossible, but you're less likely to convert in sales when people don't know what went into it, why it costs so much.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have a following that is going to support your prices. People don't know what they're even buying. First of all, like they can see a shirt that looks really cool, but they don't know if it feels good, if it's something they like or they would like.
Yeah.
And so that will push people away because there's uncertainty there. And if you create that friction with your pricing, you're going to struggle with your conversions from how you convey in marketing. Like you can do everything right in marketing, do the proper, posting, the creatives, all the videos and pictures, and do everything right on that back end. But if you price it incorrectly, as soon as people go to your website and, select checkout and put it in their cart, they're going to second guess, is this product worth buying at this price? And if you
Right.
create friction, that's gonna either one, slow down your conversion rate, or it's gonna deter them from actually buying and create a gap of people that are maybe not willing to spend that money.
Right, yeah. You wanna definitely do your homework and figure out, like Bruce said, where you stand in the market, what is the average cost that other brands, your competitors essentially are charging for their product, and then, find out what like the real low end your low end pricing would be, right? And It definitely plays a huge part, dude, because even for myself, if I see something too cheap, I instantly think there is something wrong with it for it to be that cheap. Like
Yeah.
there's just no way that this 5 pack of shirts is $10. I'm gonna see that and I'm gonna have red flags instantly going
Yeah.
up. You know what I
Unless I
mean?
see a clearance sticker on it, then I'm gonna be like, all right, then I'm gonna take it.
Exactly. Exactly. Right. And then, but yeah, so as for me personally, I see that and I just think, okay, well, this just is probably not built to last or the quality is just not there, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Especially when you see it next to competitors, right? You see your brand is a low, is say $20, you know. You have two other competitors, one is 25, one's 30. You know, you're gonna kind of, me personally, I'm gonna play it safe and be like, okay, maybe I can't afford the 30 $30 pack or whatever. So you know what? Let me play safe, see in the middle, you know, something that's kind of
Mm-hmm.
in between.
Yep.
So that's does affect your selling, you know,
Yeah.
like it's all again, it's all about like perception, you know. You don't wanna you can't do like Bruce said, you can't just jump to premium prices until you build trust, you know. But at the same time, again, you don't wanna be too cheap where it's like a instant red flag and people are second guessing like, well, fuck, maybe it's this cheap because it's gonna last 2 washes or it's gonna shrink after the first wash, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Like these are things that you really need to think about before
Yep.
while when you're pricing your items.
Yeah, for sure, dude. I completely agree. I think, it's important when, like you said, going back on the pricing too low is, um you need to find your sweet spot. Because, just kind of adding to what he said, the pricing too low part can definitely impact you in different ways, and it's not just about like building trust with your supporters or people that are interested in buying from you, but it can also impact your total gross or your total profit, right? So if it's something's costing you to make, after shipping, whether you're buying overseas and getting it to your house and all the samples you had to go through, right? If you're all in like $1,000 and each product costs $25 to make, and you're trying to price it at $30, you're not really making any money, right? And sometimes that, not that that's a bad strategy if you're breaking like you're breaking even, but you also need to understand that, like, if something's costing you $25 to make, you need to price it at a 40 to 50% upcharge minimum so that it makes sense. Like, with the time converted
Yeah.
into like creating the product, right? It might have taken you 3 4 months to make it, maybe even half a year, right? Of like countless of hours to make this product. Um, and then like maybe marketing, right? You might have had to do some ads, you might have had to get some custom packaging and all these other things, right? So you need to take account of like total cost of everything into your price of product, and not just simple, hey, my cost for this product without packaging, without marketing, without equipment, rental of a space, you know, um,
Yeah.
because and then you're gonna price incorrectly, and then it could definitely be too low where you're coming out overall negative.
Yes.
I think a lot of people don't take into
Yeah.
consideration those things where they think, oh, like renting a photo studio is completely separate. The camera that I rented or I bought is completely separate. The packaging is completely separate. I'm only considering like the product itself and pricing it based off my margins for the product itself. But you you can't do that, because where else is the money coming from, right? It's coming from the sales you're generating from these products. So you need to understand that you break each of those categories into the total cost of your products.
Yep.
And as you grow and scale, you'll eventually um like have more cash flow to be able to lower your product price. But in the beginning, you will probably have to be on the slightly higher charging portion, so that you can have more capital to continue reinvesting and reinvesting and reinvesting.
Yeah. That's yeah. I mean, it could go both ways, guys. You know, like again, like Bruce said, you can do that, or if you like, what is the average? 50% upcharge, right? And like,
Mm-hmm.
at least for like
40 to
clothing,
50.
yeah. So what's recommended, I believe, is from competitors that we've seen is like they do like 50 plus. So some people do three times X
Mm-hmm.
of the actual product cost, you know. Again, when you're starting, when you're a brand new brand, you're starting, you need to build that brand trust. You need to build your identity. You need to create your loyal fan base, right? To have these customers that are going to be returning to you. So if you need to charge less, that's okay too. But
Mm-hmm.
you need to make sure why you're doing it, right? Like if you're just trying to get product out to get more exposure, that's also okay, but you got to understand that profit wise, it's going to hurt you.
Mm-hmm. All right. So next question is gonna be um premium pricing. What actually makes people willing to pay more? Um, so there's a lot of things that actually make people or allow people to pay more or want to pay more. Um, and the very basic things are going to be quality, I guess, durability,
Yes.
and how the product makes people feel, like the connection with the product. And then I would also add in there like the transparency that you have as like a brand owner with your audience. Um, a lot of the times I've seen in like at least my experience is people won't question price of things if they know the craftsmanship that happens behind the scenes is worth paying for, right? So a good example is
Mm-hmm.
going to be like Louis Vuitton or Hermes. Like these are really popular designer brands where they market their stuff as handcrafted, right? When you
Yeah.
hear handcrafted, you hear like, oh, that takes a lot of time. These are authentic leathers. These are like all handmade hardware, like buttons and zippers and things that are going on these products. So people automatically justify a $5,000 bag with the price of it because they're like, well, it's all handcrafted. Like I'd rather pay 5K for a handcrafted, authentic one of one. Each individual one is different. There's no one of the same, even though they look the same because of the way they market their branding, right? I think that's one way people justify premium pricing. Another way I would say is like how I was saying, the connection you build with your audience, and that's through how you make them feel, right? If you solve a like self-esteem issue, like a confidence issue, or like make someone feel better or build better habits with certain um with like the message you're pushing, which is kind of like what we're doing with ours,
Yeah.
that helps people feel better at like, I like the feeling that I'm getting from this brand, or when I wear it, or when I have it, or when people ask me about it, or like I feel proud to talk about it out in like with friends and family. People want to be a part of it and have that fear of FOMO,
Yeah.
not owning it, so they buy it.
Yes.
You know, that's what I would say.
Isn't it funny though how like when you really think about it, brands that use the handcrafted as like part of their marketing strategy, if you really think about it, everything is technically most things are handcrafted in like clothing.
I mean,
A lot of it is handcrafted when you really break it when you look down to like the roots, you know?
yeah, but just different levels though. I think
Yeah,
like
definitely.
you, if you're being literal, like yes, a lot. Like if you're getting a blank shirt and someone is screen printing on it, like by hand, then yeah. But nowadays there's like mechanical, electrical screen
Yeah,
printers, right?
just get
Um,
them at the sweatshop.
but then there's like I said, those designer brands where they'll show in their commercials where it's like, every single thread it's someone
Handcrafted.
handcrafting, so it's like
Yeah,
it's the way it's portrayed, the
yeah, yeah. It,
perception.
the percent. I was just about to say that, dude, because like there is a lot of hand built engines that are just not marketed versus like
Mhm.
Porsche will market their engines handcrafted and
Mhm.
show the one specific mechanic working on just the components of building the actual
Mm.
putting the motor
Which adds
together,
value.
which adds value. Exactly. It's
Yeah.
that gives you that
Premium
premium
pricing.
feel.
Yeah. Dude, I
That's
think
so
that's
crazy, huh?
like yeah, I
We're about
mean,
to start handcrafting GTA product out
it
here.
is handcrafted. I don't know what he's talking about,
Yeah,
dude.
dude. I was in the back room fucking sewing shit up.
Yeah, I mean, that's how a lot of smaller brands right now in this era of fashion are charging $150, $300 per shirt, per
Dude,
pair
yeah.
of pants. And that's because,
That's true, dude.
people are literally showing the behind the scenes of like, hey, I bought this pants as is. This is what it looked like. And they're transparent, right? This is like a key part is they say, yeah, I bought this $50 pair of pants or $40 pair of pants, but I added my own hardware on it. I added my hand distressing on it. I
Mm-hmm.
added a layer of, I cut this flannel and I put a patch on it with the design. Like I put 20 hours of work into one pair of pants, which now elevates the price of this $40 pair of jeans to a $150 or $200 pair of pants, which
Yes,
people
yeah.
which people nowadays in like fashion and stuff will pay, right? Like they want a one of one. They want a
That
hey,
is true.
like raw, authentic pair of something.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone wants to point at someone and say, "Hey, like you don't have this, I have
I
it."
have it on.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. That's actually perfect because our next question is buyer behavior. So that's
Yeah.
funny. So do you think I guess do you think that people make buying decisions, is it more of a logical
Um,
or emotional purchase?
Depends on who you're asking. And this is gonna be a hot take. Y'all can cook me in the comments if you want, but women buy emotionally.
That's actually true.
And
This is actually a known
yeah,
this is
this
a known
this is
thing.
a known statistic.
Yes.
So it's not just me saying it. It's for all you haters out there that are gonna try to cook me in the comments.
That's
Do so
actually
though. It's engagement.
true.
But yeah, just naturally women are emotional buyers. Everyone knows this. Big corporations know this. Literally, ironically, like kind of side topic, but on the same topic. At work, we literally had a meeting recently about like sales and
Mm-hmm.
the topic of how to like women buying um being impulsive buyers and how we shift focus to like when women are in the store, like focus areas on things to have women buy more essentially while they're in the
Yes.
store was a topic that was brought up. So
Dude,
it's
that's
crazy because like
crazy.
a big corporation talking about these things, it's crazy. Like when I heard it I was like, damn, we talked about this in our chase program when they told
Dude,
us, and
yeah.
we were in shock when they were like, yeah, it's like about 70 to 80% of buyers in the market for just products in general is women, whether
Yep.
the women buying it for their man, like it's a man product, like usually it's a girl behind the purchase.
Yes.
um
That's so crazy because we also do that at our store, bro. And
for real.
yes, I
Shit, that's
never
crazy.
realized this until we started doing all of doing the whole chase program. But this is fucking mind blowing, actually. We have, we don't even carry this on the shelf. It's literally just a strip on the self checkouts or like on the check lanes.
Mm-hmm.
And they are fat burner pills for women.
Damn.
And when you think about impulsive buying, when you're going through the check lane, dude, what do women want to do? They want fat burners,
Yeah,
quick results, right? They see that, it's right there. It's a quick grab, literally grab and go.
that's
You
what they're
don't even
called.
exactly
Grabbing goes.
grab and goes. Yeah, us too. Damn, man, fuck grabs. But anyway, but
Yeah.
it's that's what they
Yeah.
do, like everybody knows this. So don't roast this guy too much because he's just saying the truth that's already out there.
Yeah.
The fact that grocery stores or stores like Target are
Yeah.
already doing this, dude, is I mean
Mm-hmm.
it goes to show, right?
Yep. I mean, you guys also think about it too. Like when you guys go to a mall and people say like, "Oh, I'm gonna go window shop," right? What do you guys see at the windows? It's their hot selling products, right? Things that women want to buy typically at the windows. Um, or sometimes even men too, right? They usually have like a 50-50, but they have something that attracts both parties. Um, but that's how they get you in the door, right? Because when you're in the door, you get greeted usually by someone, and then that's a wrap. Usually, that you get snatched in there, and they take your money.
Facts.
But yeah, I think people's buying decisions logical or emotional. Women are gonna be more emotional. Men are typically more logical when it comes to things.
Yeah, we're getting cooked.
Typically,
Typically, yeah.
but there is a mixture in there, right? Like there is some guys that will
Yes.
shop emotionally or buy random dumb shit that they don't even need and they just want to spend their money. They don't have like uh control or discipline around behind what they buy. And that just goes for both sides. Some women do have control. They don't impulse buy as much. They're more like smart shoppers.
True.
Um, but just statistically, like women are more emotionally, guys are more logical, or just don't spend as much money in the web. Even
Have
though maybe the people you are around, you might feel like, oh, the guys that I hang around with or know buy a lot more online. This is not just involving your typical circle, maybe that you feel. This is just like globally.
true, 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 true. Have you ever paid more for something just because it looked better?
Yeah, I have actually. Um, I do it less now, but would buy things before that cost a little bit more because it was just cooler. It looked cooler. Um, yeah, I have. I'm gonna be honest. Like a good example is like when I've bought like jerseys in the past, like for like baseball teams or something. I could have got like a cheaper one,
Mm-hmm.
but
That's a great
I
example.
saw one that was cooler and I was like, "Hey, that's sick. I'm gonna get that one." So that's like an impulse buy,
That's an
but
impulse buy.
it was a moment where I paid more because it made me feel better, which is the whole goal of those things, right? The way it made me feel is the reason
Yes.
I bought it. Which it was an understanding purchase for myself.
It was a logical.
Yeah, it was a logical purchase.
Oh
Yeah, I'm
shoot, dude,
getting
that's
canceled,
jokes,
dude.
bro.
Everyone's gonna be swinging at me.
Yeah, that's
uh,
so funny, dude.
yeah. Have you?
Oh fuck yeah, dude.
Dude,
Not with necessarily clothes though,
dude, I've
cause
done that shit with two charger cars.
I was just about to say that, dude. I did that with not my first Challenger, but the second Challenger. I did not need a fucking V8 at the time, nor could I probably. Honestly, probably.
Dude, I remember telling him, dude, you don't need it. And literally
I was like, I
like
need
3 days
it.
later, he pulls up to my house and come outside. And I'm like, there's no fucking way. This guy got the V8.
Yeah, like that was a impulsive buy. In the moment, it was logical. Honestly, I felt like I was doing something, but I mean, long term,
Yeah.
I regretted it. And I for sure, if I can't afford to just completely buy something out, I don't see myself making a purchase like that again, you know?
Yeah, that's true.
That's fucking
Um
funny.
yeah. I mean, let us know in the comments if you guys have ever made a purchase that you were just kind of either making a more emotional purchase or a more logical purchase and how it made you feel. If it was something that you regretted down the road, or it was something that you look back on and you're like, well, it was a dumb purchase at the time. I don't necessarily regret it, but I did learn a lesson out of it.
Yeah,
Um,
for sure.
but um, yeah, I
Dang.
think
Do you think, would you say that pricing, do you think pricing is just,
it's in the Matrix.
is pricing psychology just manipulation?
Yes, I think when you look at the nitty gritty, the
Nitty gritty, word of the
nitty
day.
gritty of it, yeah, because it's you're tricking people essentially, and you're justifying based off their emotional gaps
Mm-hmm.
or their needs, and justifying is, well, you're marketing to justify why they need that product. And so that's all psychology, right? If you can't
Yeah.
use emotion to make connection with you as the brand owner, or you as the face of the brand, or even if you're a face of the brand, as to why someone needs it, which is emotionally and psychology or psychological, then they won't buy it, right? They're just gonna look at it and be like, ah, whatever. But
Yeah.
if
That
you
is true,
tap
actually.
into that, hey, this is why you need this product. This is what it can do for you, or this is what this product has done for others, and creates a sense of FOMO, right? Fear of missing out and not having it, or hey, everyone's on the Nike trend right now, right? Or hey, everyone's on the weight loss and fitness journey drop, right? Or whatever the case is, then yeah, like it's all kind of psychological. And that gives you power to play with numbers, right? If
Definitely.
you're a brand that's already like really established and really well known for a certain category, so like a good example to just kind of make a, blank statement here is Nike, right? Nike can price their stuff at whatever they want, and people are gonna buy no matter what.
That's true.
And that's because they've already built a foundation in every single avenue. So right now that running, fitness, and health is like coming back and becoming like this really big boom into the world, and like specifically running and fitness, um, dude, they've been dropping like a bunch of like running gear. They've been dropping a bunch of new running shoes, or like lifestyle, like comfy shoes. And dude, the prices are insane, like $300, $200, and everyone is buying the trending shoes that are really expensive,
They're selling out.
and they're selling out. And it's
Yeah.
crazy. And it's because of trends, right? People want to fit in with everyone else that's running these events and things like that. They don't want to go and wear
Right.
those ugly looking shoes that probably do similar things, or not probably, they do similar things for half the price.
Right.
They want to have a $300 pair of shoes that is going to make them fit in with everyone else around them and run with them.
Yeah. Well, it's just like that guy that just smashed the fucking marathon world record, right?
Oh, yeah, it's
He did a
fucking
sub 2 hour marathon, dude, which
mm-hmm.
is fucking insane, right?
An hour
An
and
hour
59
59.
minutes with 30 seconds.
Dude,
It's
that
crazy.
is so fucking insane, right? But now, any of the product that guy is wearing, dude, those brands, like I think he was wearing an Adidas shirt, right?
It was
Adidas
Adidas literally
shoes,
top to bottom.
dude. Now, dude, that's literally their whole fucking marketing. How they're gonna be able to psychologically make people feel like if you buy this shoe, you're gonna break fucking
Yeah.
world records,
Which is
right?
crazy because I don't know if this is true or not, but I think that shoe's like roughly around $500, which is
Well, that's
crazy.
their brand new one, right? I think it's like the Adidas Evo Pro or some crazy shit like that,
Yeah.
which is, dude, yeah, five hundred
Yeah.
dollars for shoes, dude. Even the Adidas that I got that were like 189, I felt like, dude, I had to eat Maruchan for that whole month.
Yeah.
And I
I was
mean,
eating nothing but rice and beans too.
yeah, bro, and like I didn't PR, you
No.
know.
Yeah, no PRs were met that week. If anything, we even slowed down.
Yeah, I took a break of running after
Dude, we
that
didn't even want to
purchase.
use the shoes.
That's true.
We hung them up in a box, prized possessions.
Showcase to the
Yeah.
fucking glass.
Uh,
But that's exactly how brands use
yep.
psychology, you know, like
Dude, it's
it's part of their marketing strategy now, you know,
yep.
and dude, I think if you could master how to
How to market.
market like not
Dude, if
just
you
visually but like psychologically, dude,
yeah.
you're going to the fucking moon.
Yeah, dude, because this goes back to basics where people always say, and you'll hear this with any brand owner or any entrepreneur that has tried to sell something to someone, is you can have a 10 out of 10 product, but if you don't know how to market it, you won't
Mm-hmm.
make sales. And we've kind of experienced that where in the very beginning, and even now, we still are learning marketing, right? Like marketing is an endless learning journey.
Dude, yeah.
But for people that have been a part of this journey, like in marketing and sales and things, you will know and can relate that if you have a good product but don't know how to market it, you won't make any sales. And people have told us, dude, like our stuff is cool, our stuff is dope, but then we're like, well, it doesn't reflect our sales, or it didn't reflect our sales for that drop specifically,
Right.
right? And we
Yeah.
ask ourselves, what did we do wrong, right? We failed to connect the product to the audience. And that in
Yes.
itself is a make or break a lot of times for brands on
Mm-hmm.
selling product. It's not necessarily mean like you're gonna sell out and sell millions or hundreds of thousands, but if you're selling 15 items, if you can't sell 15 items, that means that you're missing something psychologically with the connection from product to consumer.
For sure, yeah. And the thing about marketing, dude, it's constantly changing, you know, like
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it's
you have to
never
stay
gonna
ahead
be
of
this,
it.
yeah, it's never gonna be the same strategy. Strategy's not, it's rare, but it's not always going to work twice or three times, you know, like
Mm-hmm.
you have to really look at what's going on in the space in order for you
Facts.
to jot down exactly how you're going to market your
Mm-hmm.
product. And I think
Yeah.
that's where a lot of new brand owners miss.
Yeah.
They don't capture it early enough, or they capture it, but it's already too late down the road where it's like, okay, bro, that trend is kind of over. Like,
Mm-hmm.
we're not really fucking with that anymore.
Yep. Up. So yeah, because I think you bring up a good point too, where like people catch it too late, or they think they caught it just in the midst of time. Like, all right, I'm gonna jump on this trend right now, but it's already on the decline. So by the time they might have caught it up here, right on the peak,
Mm-hmm.
but by the time they're releasing in 2 3 months, like that's already way down here. So when they release, they're thinking like, "Well, what happened? You know, this trend is hot." But in reality, it's like, dude, when it was hot when you saw it and found it, or that marketing strategy, or everyone was using it. But 2 3 months later, when you released, it was over. Like people already moved on to another strategy, so it affected your conversions. It
Yes.
didn't
Yeah.
connect psychologically with people as much as it should have or could have.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, dude, I think definitely some manipulation in there for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
It's super, super based off manipulation with numbers and just emotions and all that stuff,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah, dude. Agreed.
Um, what about personal and brand angle? What do you think pricing says about your brand? What would you
Um,
say our pricing says about our brand, GTA?
oh, that's a great question, actually.
Sheesh, we just big balling out here, you know. We just giving out shit for pretty much free 99 because we can.
I mean,
The nervous laugh.
yeah,
He said
bro.
free. When did we say free?
I was about to say, dude,
He's
you
like,
better
yeah.
up that
He
shit.
said, edit this shit out.
Um,
Yeah, I just lost my job, chat.
yeah, dude,
I got fired.
cooked after this episode.
Yeah.
Um, I guess this kind of goes back to like that question, the previous topic, right? Like manipulation or psychology, just in general. It it does say a lot about your brand, I personally think, because again, you don't want to be too cheap, but then you don't want to be overpriced where it doesn't reflect your quality doesn't reflect the price, and that you can't people can't justify why they're spending X amount of dollars on your product.
Mm.
I think a key component for our brand specifically, in which we always tell our customers, and we've been very transparent with like actual like costs and how much we're spending and whatnot. We promote it as same quality as top tier brands for less of a cost, right? So like we're not doing the average 50%
Markup.
markup, you know, like we decided we were gonna take more in the 40% range because for that specific reason where we want to stand out from these top tier brands, but still bring the same quality.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's important to do that if you're going to be charging less, right? Because again, you don't want to seem like a cheap ass brand either.
Yup.
And you don't want to lose the that profit also,
Mm-hmm.
because again, you want to take your profits, reinvest it 100%, so you can then create better product, better
Mm-hmm.
quality, and just to keep getting to that same level as your competitors, right?
Yep. Yeah, I mean, dude, I agree. I think pretty much like we want to attract a certain group of people. And I think in the beginning we wanted to like attract everyone and we were just kind of like, "Oh, we got to be inclusive of everyone. It's not about competing, it's about bringing everyone and anyone along." But as we go on through this rebrand journey and like essentially are rebuilding an entire brand, we're realizing that it's not that we're not including a specific group of people. It's just that we are going after a niche of people now, right? Both men, women, whatever, kids or adults. And these are people that are into like fitness, running, at like being athletic, being outdoors specifically. Um or indoors too with like the gym and stuff, like gym goers,
Yeah.
runners, athletes, things like that. Like that's the group of people that we're targeting. And before we try to, I think, include people that couldn't relate with doing those things. And so I think that is where we are able to price based off our group that we know is there. Like
Yes.
the runners, like the gym goers, like who exactly we want to market to and we know we're marketing to, is very important to be able to say, hey, this is a reasonable price, right? Is your audience like a higher end group of people? Is it a middle class group of people? Is it like a lower end class of people? Understanding those metrics and those like analytics of who's watching your stuff and who's feeling connection is important because that's where like you understand your ICP, your
Yes,
ideal customer
sir.
profile, and understanding that is gonna help you price in the early stages, and then at some point you're able to readjust your numbers if needed to either up your prices a little bit or keep them the same.
Mm-hmm.
If you're going lower, then there might be a problem, but ideally you want to either stay here, maybe up it a little bit, but you don't also want to like from one day to the next like completely 360 on your audience and say, hey, our product was $50 and now it's 100. Like people are gonna trip out and you're gonna lose customers.
Yeah.
um so
Yeah, I mean, again, you guys, you could charge, you could get to those prices eventually,
Oh,
right?
yeah,
Like,
for
dude,
sure.
Nike was not always $100 per garment, right? Like, you you start charging more as you start building trust in your customers.
Mhm.
When people can really trust your product, then that's when you can start upcharging a little bit more and a little bit more and a little bit more as you progress and as your quality gets better, right?
Mhm.
Once you build that reputation, like you're not gonna buy something that where there's no reputation behind it. That would just be a stupid buy at that point, right? For anybody in any product,
Yeah.
that just doesn't make any sense. I think I would say honestly, I feel like charging too cheap for too long would hurt your brand too.
Yeah. Oh,
Personally, I
dude, I
think.
agree. I would say charging too cheap for too long would compromise trust in the long run,
Hmm.
in my opinion, because
I agree.
I think charging too cheap for too long will at some point make people think, how are they managing to keep their prices so low if they're constantly stating that their quality is this high or even
Hmm.
improving, right? So like I think an example
Facts.
is if we started with a blank shirt, right? And then we added a logo, and then the next time we added a logo and like a button, and then the next time we added a logo button and something else, but we're charging the same and adding more, people are gonna say, how are they able to add all this stuff, all this design, up their packaging, up their quality, up this and that, but charge the same? It's gonna make people doubt the purchase.
That's a psychological shit right
Yeah,
there, where you start questioning their buy and why or what they're buying.
yeah.
You're gonna turn into a what is that called? A Temu shop real quick, dude.
Yeah, pretty much. No, yeah, dude, turn into a whole ass Temu shop if you start or Timu.
Temu. I don't even know what
Honestly,
it
I don't
is,
know.
honestly, dude. But I
There's
just know it's a cheap ass shop.
um, but yeah, just be mindful of those things, right? Like we're not telling you guys to completely change your prices if you are a brand owner watching this,
Right.
but I think it's important to understand like where and how much everything is costing you from beginning to end, from production to editing to packaging to shipping to taxes to all that stuff. Keep a count into pricing of those things and how like the costs and incorporate in your total price for sale to a person.
Yeah.
Um, because if you don't, I think you're gonna end up you could end up losing money if you don't price correctly for starters.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. Fuck, dude. That's so true, man.
Yeah, and you don't want to be
Nobody
in
thinks
this
about that.
business to lose money. You want to be in the business to at least break even and then make money. So
At least break even,
yeah,
dude.
no one's doing this to just lose money. I mean, if
Oh
you are,
shit.
then hey, shoot me $1.
I was about to say, shoot me some funds.
Yeah, let me hold $1 or two. But for the most part, obviously you're wanting to do a business to make some money.
I said a
Um
dollar or two.
but yeah, I
Damn.
think damn.
Ooh.
We'll just close it out with a little banger question.
Brother, I'm not ready.
And let's be honest. What's the most you've paid for something just because it felt premium?
Damn, bruh.
Shoo! The most I paid for something just because it felt premium?
Does it count if I didn't purchase it?
No, you had to make the decision for your own. That's crazy.
Because, okay, well, I'm gonna still use this as an example because I feel like this is a great example. When I was first getting my glasses,
Mm.
um, I remember looking at the glasses and I remember getting, like my dad had insurance through work, but there was the free set that you could get through your insurance,
Hell
and
yeah.
then of course the ones that your insurance covers part of the um cost, but they're so expensive that you got to pay the remaining balance, right?
Mm-hmm.
At that age, I remember seeing these Ray-Ban glasses, and I instantly thought like, oh fuck, bro, like my first set of glasses, Ray-Bans, like, dude, fucking I thought premium. That's
Mm-hmm.
exactly what I was thinking. I was like, dude, these are fly as fuck. Honestly, dude, fucking regret it. I felt bad for my pops because he had to pay the remaining balance. But
Damn. He's about to IOU you
I
after
know, dude, I'm gonna
this.
send him some funds right now. I'll Zell you right now, dude. I got you. But dude, those glasses, not even joking, dude, probably lasted like a couple months and they broke. Sat on them once, they broke. Versus, I remember my second set, I kind of just stopped caring about that stuff. And I got the free version that was just the thin wire ones, like super cheap, dude, where it was just like, it's
Mm-hmm.
free, fuck it, right? It did the same job. And those lasted more than a year. Um, I would not buy it again. Even now, not just because it's my money now,
Nah,
but
he has that premium vision now. That's why he got that
I did get
LASIK.
it. So yeah, best purchase of my life.
Yeah.
Um, but I think that's a great example because at the time, I saw that name just Ray-Ban, and I kind of overlooked just the style and
Dang.
how it made me feel putting it on. Like they were thicker, but because it had that name Ray-Ban, I instantly thought, oh shit, dude, these are premium, so it's fucking better. It's gonna make me feel better. I'm gonna look cooler wearing these. Like
Yup.
I'm gonna sit at the front of the back of the class, like, yeah, guys, I can see now because I have Ray-Bans. You know what I mean? But that's how Ray-Ban promotes their product, right?
Yeah,
It's like
his
a
style and
premium
vision.
glass. Exactly, exactly, yeah. So
They cooked you, bruh.
they did, dude.
Damn. That's
That's
crazy.
I didn't pay for it. Shout out, pops. Appreciate you.
Sheesh. Dang. Honestly, dude, I've bought too many things that For
Okay, what would be the most recent?
the most recent,
Yes.
um,
Where you're like, fuck yeah, dude, you know what? This is a premium shit, dude. I need this.
this bitch right here. Yep, my iMac Pro.
Bruh, we were just talking about it earlier. Out of storage
my
already.
my iMac Pro, the 15-inch display. I justified that shit with everything in my will.
What a guy.
Given it was partially like a birthday gift, but I also covered cost in it as well. But I could have easily covered, honestly, like in with like my mom, she pitched in, my brother pitched in, um, and then like I could have paid less also, um, but I could have paid less in it to get a smaller version of it, which had almost the same features. It was I think the 13-inch for it,
Yeah,
but
it was pretty much the same
um
features.
yeah, but I wanted the bigger screen and I justified it, and
Bigger is better.
yeah, the bigger is better. It's gonna run smoother, and honestly, I'm pretty sure if I got the smaller one, it would have
You know
did the
what
same
though?
exact thing.
That guy did really good at selling it to you
He
because
did.
he literally he pointed. I don't know if you mentioned it or if he mentioned it, but I remember overhearing as I was recording you guys mentioning how my hands are bigger, you know, so it feels more comfortable on the
That was me.
keyboard.
I
This
was
was
just
sold
a
himself out.
I sold myself on the thing because I didn't want to feel like I made a bad purchase after. Which I'm not gonna say it was a bad purchase. It's not a bad purchase, but I know that I went with the more expensive one because I wanted to feel like I had the MacBook Pro versus just a MacBook,
Yeah.
um, or the smaller one or whatever. Um, because yeah, I only got like 500 and like I think it was 512 gigabytes on it, and I already ran out of storage, and I had it since February. So
Insane.
it's crazy. I mean, just with the content that we shoot, the podcast takes so much storage. So each podcast
Facts.
takes like close to 100 gigabytes
Easily, dude.
each.
Yeah. It's ridiculous.
So yeah, I already ran out of storage, but that's besides the point. Did pay more because I wanted to feel like I got the best quality or the best version that I could have got. There's more expensive ones, but at least from what like the budget that I was looking at, which was still really expensive in my opinion, I think it was like total cost out the door was like $1,600, and that's that I got like 300 close to $400 off, I think it was, because I
Oh
opened a business
yeah.
account, which was like you save I think 5% on it or 10%. But there was like some confusion with like I had went first like a week prior to like set an appointment to come back, and then they opened my account but they couldn't find it, or there was like some paperwork missing that the guy didn't submit that I met the first time. And so there's like a bunch of back and forth, and they just ended up doing like an override for me, like a one-time thing where they were like, "Hey, there was like an error or something missing. The
Mm-hmm.
guy's not here. We can't like get your business account going. So we're just gonna do like a 10% off override on the total
Crazy.
price." So I got like a pretty good discount, which the guy was like, honestly, you got even a lower price than you would have got with the business discount.
And you did a trade-in for the phone, right?
Oh, and I also traded in like a phone too to help like take off like $100 on it too. So
Which hey, $100 is
oh,
$100.
it was 180 bucks. So yeah, I got like
Yes.
$400 off on top of that. But if not, it would have been like closer to like $2,000,
Yeah, dude.
which is crazy. But
That's pretty crazy.
yeah, I would say that MacBook was something that I think if I got like a different like a computer that was maybe like $1,000, it would have done the same exact job. I will say that um CapCut does have like this is how I justified it. It's because I use CapCut, and on Mac on Windows they don't. I don't think they have an app version of CapCut.
Really?
I don't think so.
Oh,
It's for like Android and stuff. So it would have
damn, that's
made it more
crazy.
complicated for me to use CapCut and like transfer files, which is why I did like go with the MacBook. Kind of tangent story on that whole thing, but
Shit.
Yeah, they do have an app for Mac iOS, which made it a lot easier to just kind of download it. And I already had a subscription for it, so it was just like download the app and start. You know.
So would you buy it again?
Ah, honestly, I probably wouldn't buy a MacBook. I would, if I'm gonna spend as much as I did on a laptop, I would probably just get a desktop. I would just spend the same amount of money on a desktop that would allow me to have more storage on it
That's
and make
fair.
it more sense.
That's
I
fair.
think, yeah, a desktop is my next purchase. If I'm gonna ever get like another upgrade, it's gonna be for sure a desktop because a desktop is just gonna outdo the laptop for sure. This was just more for like travel convenience. Like I can take it to work, I can take it anywhere to edit on my lunch and things like that. Or if I ever travel, I can take it with me. I can't take a fucking desktop with me, you know?
Yeah,
So I
that
think
is
with
true.
convenience, it made sense, but desktop will be my next upgrade if I get to that point.
Yeah.
Damn. Well, that closes it out. Now I gotta go return this thing.
Yeah, chat.
Tell them that I need my monies back. Nah, I'm just
Yeah.
kidding. But yeah, pricing and psychology for you
I say
guys.
psychology.
Interesting topic on the Let's Talk About It segment this week.
Mm-hmm.
Let us know what you guys think. I think this was something that was interesting to talk about because people don't dive into these sub thoughts or subcategories on like what goes into pricing, certain things or
Yeah.
why I made a purchase and I didn't really know why I bought it kind of
Yeah.
thing.
A lot of people don't think about this,
Yeah.
dude.
The
Like
reflection part
the
on
reflection part, yeah.
yeah. So hopefully we did a decent job at breaking down certain things for you guys on pricing, or if you're a business owner and struggling to price your products, hopefully we gave you insight or direction as to what you should incorporate in your pricing. Um if you do guys have any questions, leave them in the comments. Let us know in the comments as well if you like the Let's Talk About It segments. This is episode number 2 for Let's Talk About It.
Damn.
If I'm not mistaken, but it's still part of Money in Motion. We try to keep it business related still, even though we sometimes get off track.
Yeah.
But
We're yappers.
yeah, we're a little bit of yapping out here, but it's all for shits and giggles. So, yeah, let us know. We appreciate you guys for liking and subscribing. We're going crazy with the subs
Dude.
lately. I think I haven't checked, but David said this morning or last night or whenever he checked last was at
Checked like 2 days
68,
ago.
68 subscribers. So we did like almost a 20 sub jump in the last week, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Because
In the last like 2 weeks.
we were at like
10 a
52.
week.
Yeah, we were at 52, 53 last week, and we're at 68 now. So that was plus 10 since last
Oh
week.
fuck, actually, yeah.
And so we're cooking, guys. Appreciate you guys for actually subscribing, liking, commenting. But I need you guys to continue watching the long videos on the podcast because we're getting videos and views. Sorry, we're getting views on the shorts, but I'm seeing some of those views go down and fluctuate week to week with the long format podcast. Let us know feedback. I am gonna try to figure out how to get these on Spotify and Apple's soon. Shout out to my sister for the feedback. I am gonna look into how to get it on there. I'm sure it shouldn't be too hard, but we're gonna have an audio only version coming very very soon, and we'll get that out for you guys. For those of you guys that can't have your YouTube open all the time or just want to hear the audio and close the app, we'll get that out to you guys soon.
Yeah,
But
definitely.
with that being said, it's been Money in Motion Monday, and we'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.